You know what I'm doing.
That's the thing about
whatever
video,
you do,
never know
whatever you
what it's
do.
gonna catch, Nick. If you gotta puke. Just do it, bro.
I know. That's what I said. Marina's like, why would you do the show? I'm like, dude, it maybe would be better for the show if I puke.
Because the show must go on. You don't stop a podcast over puke. You just puke on the podcast. That's how that works.
The guys on Jackass don't stop. Yeah.
Nick, think of a hashtag for that. What is it? Too much puke? Hashtag too much puke? Is that
real
men?
Real men puke? I don't know.
Oh yeah. Real men blow chunks. Hashtag real men chunks. There you go.
And keep doing podcasts.
You just have to shout out the name of a movie you hate.
The podcast must go on, no matter what happens.
The podcast.
So, are you not able to start the show? Are you totally like handicapped? Or can you?
No, I'm good. I'm ready. No, that's why I was late because I was it was water coming out of my butt. It was really. I'm sorry to get all crazy.
It was straight up water.
But real men podcast even when they're sick. That's my point.
That's right. You gotta do it no matter what.
Did I cancel today? Did I be like, oh, I'm a little baby and I got sick? I'm gonna puke live on this damn show.
Nice.
Oh, we're rolling, by the way.
That's a promise now.
Oh yeah, this is good. Hey, we are live. I didn't realize.
Yeah, we are live. We're going.
I was sick today, guys. My kids were sick. Audience, I'm sorry.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it was an adventure. Yeah, but yeah, I'm here. Real men do podcasts and puke. Yeah, so there you go. And then they drink some more because why not?
He's really off his game. Usually Nick starts the show, so I'm waiting for his.
Nick, not only does he vomit, but he also introduces the show, right?
Yeah.
So, John, I want to ask you a question. What the heck happened last week on Binge-Watchers?
Some anime happened, and anime is about to happen again tonight because we're actually covering one of the best animes ever drawn. It's Fist of the North Star, the animated feature from '86. And a few cherry-picked headlines from the wider world of TV and movies and pop culture. So stay tuned, and let's go. Here comes our theme song. We'll see you in 30 seconds. Bam, let's go.
Crack open a cold box of wine or pour something cold on ice because it's the Binge-Watchers podcast.
All right. Usually I interrupt the drink pop in there at the end. All right. So let's see what's new in the headlines. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see the concept video, but they've announced the sequel to The Last Starfighter. The Last Starfighters is on its way out.
Yes.
If you watch the concept video, it's kind of an easy cheat. Like, they're just saying that, like, you know, his kids are going to be trained to starfighters. Keep it in the family, right? What was his name? Andy Rogan? Was that his name? Andy Rogan? I feel like that was his name, something like that. Alex Rogan. Alex Rogan. It was Alex Rogan was the last Starfighter. I hope they bring back. It shouldn't just be the human kids. It should be his alien partner's kids. Because I think wasn't the alien talking about his wife was pregnant or he was married or something?
I think so.
The guy that helps the last Starfighter. That'd be cool. We'd covered Last Starfighter a few years ago on the show, and it's one of my favorite science fiction movies. But let's go around the guys. Let's see what they think. Nick, what do you think about a Last Starfighter sequel?
I'm all on board. I haven't probably seen the movie in 25 years, but God, I would love to see this. I'm totally in the concept that John sent me in the link. Pretty damn cool. I like that.
Davey.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they're remaking everything or having like sequels like 40 years after the fact. Why not Last Starfighter? You know, do some VR.
Last Starfighter?
Well, 84 or 83?
Oh, damn near.
Yeah.
So why not? You know, bring it into the VR world, or you know, I don't know. Maybe it's a phone app now. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're right. What's the new test? What is Centauri's new game that tests the new starfighters out?
Whoa, dude, this new game's amazing. Yeah.
You're next, Adam. Chime in.
You're going right for that, but I tell you what, it should be the original game. They should bring it back. They should charge a quarter. You have to for an ad.
So they're playing the arcade
for the last.
They're at like the Penny Arcade or the Nickel Arcade down the street, and they plug it and dust it off and everything. They just like start playing the arcade.
What the hell is this thing?
It, Toby.
Yeah.
oh my God, this kid cleaned off the box. He turned the game on. You're it, guy. You're gonna kick the Starfighter out. Like,
Oh no, that like it lights up if you beat it, and you get like free
But it's-
tickets. You
it's more
are
than
one of the
just a-
last Starfighters.
it's more than just a broken arcade. Also, he has to repair the ship, right? Like he's got to fix the rocket. Then
Oh, jeez.
That's an amusement course.
yeah,
You
yeah, the
gotta-
whole thing.
Wow.
So I guess that's it for Last Starfighters. We'll tune in. Chucky TV series from the original creator. What's his name? Dan Corsarelli, whatever he is. So he's doing a Chucky show, and it's supposed to be reinvigorating the Chucky brand, if you will. And he went back and got the girl who played Kyle, Christine McCarthy,
From
and,
part 2, yeah.
and Alex Barkley, who played the original Andy in like the first 3 movies. So if you're a Child's Play fan, this should be right up your alley. Let's go to Nick. What do you think? Chucky TV series with some of the original stars.
I love it. I loved like the new sequels that came out too, like Cult of Chucky. So I'm totally down for this. And to bring everyone back again, hell yeah. What they're gonna do, I have no idea, but I trust this guy.
Cult of Chucky was a departure from the original story, but it had some of those people in it, right?
Yeah, and then there was a teaser for that Christina girl at the very end, like a tease, you know.
Oh, like how they teased Corey Haim popping up in the Lost Boys sequel, where he's just in a
yeah, exactly. Even though it's straight to video, we gotta
get your
tease
shit
it.
together for a 5-minute scene here at the end of the movie that no one's gonna see. Okay, I'm on my way.
Oh yeah, I can do this.
Man.
Yeah.
Davey, are you on board for this Child's Play shit?
Yeah, like Nick, I kind of agree. The last 2, not the remake or the redoing, but the last 2 direct-to-video sequels were actually pretty good for like straight-to-video movies, and they're from the original creator like this. So I kind of think you're in good hands. Why not? I'm looking forward to it.
I say yes,
Adam?
all the way. I want to see. I would love to see if Brad Dourif would come back and do, some voices.
He's supposed
but I don't know.
He's supposed to be in it.
I'm pretty sure they would have him.
He's done them all along except for the remake.
Yeah, he's supposed to be Chucky in the show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
That
I got some reverb myself, so I'm trying to adjust the mic as we.
How many episodes do you think they're going to be able to put out?
Of Chucky? Well, isn't Sci-Fi Channel involved or something? So they'll probably do 9 or 12 or something, or 13.
The more they put out, the better. Keep putting them out.
The only other headline. Oh, and I guess I'm on board for Chucky too. I guess I don't know. I like Chucky. The second movie is my favorite of all.
Mine too.
So.
That whole last half an hour is incredible. It's at the toy factory. It's just genius.
Oh God, that gave me nightmares for years. Like I can't go down that road right now.
Okay, but the last thing is the idea. Do you guys remember a Canadian zombie movie called Ponty where he's in the radio station the whole time? He's like broadcasting as the zombie apocalypse happens. It's kind of a really cool idea. And then they're talking about like the sequel would actually be happening during the broadcast. So there'd be other characters interacting as they listen to the broadcasts.
Would it be the people calling into the show at the time?
Yeah. It would show us the other characters that called in and stuff. I was like, that's kind of a cool idea for a sequel. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah.
I think that's a great concept. I haven't seen the movie in years, so I don't remember exactly which characters it would be, but I did enjoy the movie and I liked the lead actor in it. He was great. So I'm totally on board for that concept.
Davey?
Yeah, I'm on board as well. Pontypool is kind of like I don't know, people who love it, or people who, it's always one of those movies to show off to somebody. So bring on more because it's an interesting and different concept on the zombie genre.
Well,
technically
I think the
a zombie movie.
The director was on some other podcast and he was talking about the ideas for it because I don't think they're going to get to make it. But anyway, Double A.
I guess my question, I haven't seen this movie, but I guess my question is, how do you think? I haven't.
Oh my gosh! What's on the top of your list right now to watch? What's on this?
You should check it out.
I watch as many things on Shudder as possible.
In all fairness, it's kind of like an under the radar movie.
Can we move Pontypool up then? Can we move it to the tops?
No, oh my gosh. I've got all these movies I've watched half of, and I just peter out, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Maybe we'll have to rotate Pontypool into this year's lineup then, if our bro here hasn't seen it.
I want to watch it. But my question about it was, okay, so it's just a guy at a radio station is getting calls about people being eaten or something?
Well, okay, well, if the actor wasn't good, he couldn't hold the movie because it's like talk radio, like that movie. The suspense builds up as the zombies get closer and closer to the radio station. that's broadcasting safety tips. And also at first it's like, is this really happening? Is this happening? And then like it gets closer and closer to the station, and then shit is happening inside the station. That's probably as much as I should say, because it's actually really kind of an ingenious idea, and the way they executed it, it's a good movie. Yeah.
And you could do this style for low budget, which is great.
So the sequel, you're following some of those characters around that calling in. Was that the general gist?
There'd be a call-ins, and you would hear the broadcasts, and it would center the time frame of the story, the same time period as when the broadcasts are happening.
If they could make it so that you started both movies at the same time and they coincided, the calls coincided at the same time, that'd be pretty amazing. Too much to ask for that.
Nick of Time with Johnny Depp or something.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know why I referenced
Dark Side of the Moon and Wizard of Oz or whatever.
I don't want to break the tempo, but we do have to take a break for some messages, and then we'll be right back after these messages.
No worries.
All right, let's take a look here. What's going on? What is going on? Aha! Available April 30th on digital and on demand. You got the Academy Award winner Christopher Walken, Zach Braff, Christina Ricci, and the true story of a small-town farmer taking on the largest agricultural and food manufacturing corporation. I think it's Monsanto. And you got Percy Smizer. He's a third-generation farmer. He's sued by a giant corporation for allegedly using their patented seeds. With little resources to fight the giant legal battle, Percy joins the up-and-coming attorney Jackson Weaver and environmental activist Rebecca Salchow to fight one of the most monumental cases all the way to the Supreme Court. Buy or rent Percy vs. Goliath on digital on demand on April 30th. Rated PG-13 from Paramount Pictures, of course. Now, if you're in your show hole, I know Nick is always in a show hole looking for something to watch. If you're looking for something new or familiar, you can dig through a massive catalog of hits on Stars. You can see what's on Stars tonight by redeeming our 7-day free trial. It's in the show notes. That'll get you started. Now, TeePublic is throwing a massive merch sale. We got merch there. A couple of the guys tonight are wearing the official T-shirts. All right? You can pick up a T-shirt, 30% off, I think, this weekend. Killer. Pick it up. All right. Real paper is 100% bamboo, making it the most sustainable, eco-friendly toilet paper on the market. Plus, all their shipping materials and are biodegradable, and they use plastic-free packaging. If you want to support what they're trying to do to bring clean toilets to the world, then you're going to want to use our coupon code Binge-Watchers to receive 70. That'd be a huge discount. 25% off your first subscription at realpaper.com. By purchasing the Real Paper, you're supporting their mission to provide clean toilets and those to need around the world by giving American households a way to reduce their carbon footprint, whatever. Stereo is the app for live conversations. You can follow us at stereo.com/Johnny Spoiler. Of course, the offers are subject to change because our show is supported by sponsors and affiliates. The last thing is really funny. I had to replace my headphones. You guys know these Raycons that Raycon gave us?
Mm-hmm. I love them.
Sure.
Mine went through the laundry. So I was like, I need new earbuds. I went to our buyraycon.com/binge-watchers link. We can still get 15% off their earbuds. If you go to the link, it's still active. So I went and scored. What are you writing at, Dave?
Put it closer to the camera.
My Little Pony? What? Well, you can talk now, Dave. The mics are on.
Oh, yeah.
And we're getting back to the podcast.
Be pointed at yourself.
That's something extra for the viewers of this.
I don't even know what he's doing. I don't know what Dave's doing his own thing.
Dave says he loves My Little Pony. I don't.
All right. So now back to the podcast already in progress, of course. And tonight's movie is Fist of the North Star. This movie is like if you dropped Bruce Lee into the Mad Max universe and said, "Hey, save us." Then you'd arrive at Kenshiro. He's got like a supernatural sense of martial arts, and he's supposedly this proclaimed Fist of the North Star. It's like a magical mantle he's going to inherit from his father, but the problem is he gets betrayed by two of his brothers and his best friend over a girl, and then it all goes to hell. And then actually, we should note that the movie is kind of like. At the same time the movie was made, they were animating the show, which has like 150 episodes of an anime developed from a manga. But and it literally, if you translate it, it's the Fist of the Big Dipper, and that's the name of this episode. But I'm gonna kick it over to Dave to tell us more about the movie and the filmmakers. What did you find out, Dave?
All right, so got some facts here. So this is based off of a manga, and like John said, there was a TV show about a year or two before this. But unlike the TV show, the movie does not follow the manga. and it rearranges, has an alternate story that rearranges characters from the first 72 chapters. So for you manga people that know that. So one thing I did notice when we were watching, so it turns out James Avery, aka Shredder, aka Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince, did a voice for Fang in the English dub of this. So I don't know if anybody else caught that.
That's where I heard. I was like going.
Yeah, so in the movie, he's the giant king that turns his body into steel.
That totally makes sense.
Has the giant sword. That's the character Dave's referring to. It's the voice of Shredder. I do want to say, like, the adaptation TV show had more than 140 episodes. Then in like the early 2000s, they did a 3-episode miniseries as called an OVA, original video animation. That's when they truncate all that animes into little tiny minisodes. And then also The Legend of the True Saver came out later in the later 2000s, which is like a 5-part miniseries movie. So they did other movies which are kind of like sequels after this. The 3-parter was like a remake of the movie we watched. And then the 5-parter was a sequel. And holy crap, this dude just fell over. I got Star-Lord. He just fell over and knocked my camera.
Whoa.
What?
My little Star-Lord doll.
He knew you were talking about him.
On the podcast. Okay. And there's also a really shitty 90s movie, but we're not going to talk about that. It's horrible.
Was it live action or is it animated?
Yeah, they did a live action adaptation, and it's the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. And so if we ever cover the worst movies, then it's on the list. But I wanted to make sure you guys watch the right movie. So I was like, make sure you watch 86 Fist of the North Star, not 2005, not 2006, not the DD Fist of the North Star, which is like, there's this trend in anime right now called Deformed. That's where they blow up either the hands or the heads really big, like bobbleheads, and they make shows out of that. So they did that.
What?
They did that to Fist of the North Star. They did it to...
No.
Yeah.
Somebody tell them no.
Don't
do it.
Shit. Anyway, so we usually cover favorite bits on the show, like our favorite scenes. Actually, it has an incredible opening and it has an incredible ending, and it does something in this movie that I don't see a lot of movies doing. They actually have like spoiler alert, it's going to happen right away, right now, right before we get into our favorite fights from the movie. Because we're doing favorite fights instead of favorite bits. But you can also add a couple comments of your favorite bits if you want to. It won't be a hard rule, it'll be a loose rule. Is you don't see a movie where like the antagonist changes sides by the end.
Yeah.
And has a change of heart. So that's pretty interesting. But my favorite fight scene is actually the Shredder voice king, the giant king who turns his body to steel, and the two armies are fighting each other. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite fight in the movie.
That's such a good one. You took such a good one.
Wait, I went out of order too. That's really funny.
No, don't worry.
He's excited. You're just excited.
I'm excited.
This segment has been spoiled.
This is like in the only anime I like more than this. Maybe is the original Vampire Hunter D, but this is in my top 5 all time. And like I held off watching this last year because once you watch this, we can't review it again. So it's like it had to time it perfectly when to talk about this movie. So we're doing it this year.
So real quick, another quick fact I didn't get to sneak in just because you mentioned Vampire Hunter D. So apparently the Ken from Fist of the North Star shows up in Vampire Hunter D, and Vampire Hunter D is somewhere within Fist of the North Star, like as a cameo.
Well, see, this is mind-blowing. That means there's actually 3 movies that are in the same universe, in the same shared universe. If Vampire Hunter D is walking around in Fist of the North Star, and Fist of the North Star is walking around in Vampire Hunter D then goes and visits Amon, which is from Amon Saga, which is another hero in a post-apocalyptic world. That means they're all chilling in this post-apocalyptic After-Earth shit. That's crazy.
The Shonen Jump universe.
Oh. We'll give it an official name then. Fucking A. It's actually any animation owned by Toei Studios. That's what it is. Hey, Nick, do you have a favorite fight from the Fist of North?
I do. I like the one, and I forgot a bunch of character names. I like the one where they're both like doing the laser against the wall, and then they both kind of come like this, and then they're holding each other's hands, and then they got that music going. Do you remember that one?
Well, you're talking about the music video fight towards the end, where the music video is going. That's like almost the final fight, where where Ray's the friend who can cut things.
It was like Ryu or Ray or something. Yeah.
No, okay, Rao was the brother, the big warlord dude, and Ray is the guy that can cut shit with his hands, like moving through the air like this.
Yeah.
And if you're just listening to the audio, You lose because you can't see me move my hands.
Yeah, John is doing some crazy stuff with his hands. I almost feel like I'm watching the movie.
Listen and watch.
Getting ready to do a Hadouken.
John, why are we not making the remake of this with you?
Damn. The $25 remake.
Let's do it.
Well, we'll just shoot
give him like really big eyebrows.
Well, so, you can be the guy that.
Nick's favorite fight is the second to last fight in the movie. And it's the music video style fight because it's like, and like, why is Ken walking everywhere? Everybody else has a horse or a motorized cart, and this dude, he's always late to the fights because he's walking, you know.
Yeah.
But Dangerous Dave, you got a favorite fight?
Yeah, again, like Nick, I don't remember character names, but I think it was Ken versus, I'll just call him the lard ass, the really fat guy.
Oh wait, that's just a thug. That's one of Jackie's thugs. Jackie's the other brother. There's three brothers. Ken is the main guy. He's the youngest brother. The middle brother is Jackie, who Ken fucked up a long time ago, like 10 years before, punched a bunch of holes in his face. So the guy glued his face together with a bunch of metal parts. Jackie's pretending to be Ken because Ken has more badass style than Jackie. So Jackie wants to take over a part of this world and wants to be the Fist of the North Star. He never will be. And so one of Jackie's bodyguards is a big fat guy. You're talking about when he kicks the guy in the stomach?
Well, yeah, and his like fist gets stuck in the guy's stomach and all that. Yeah.
You're already dead.
I just thought it was so different from everything else. Like, there's other great fights in that, but that was just different enough to make it my favorite.
All right, that brings us to Double A. He looks excited to tell us something.
I mean, Dave is constantly picking the same thing that I like, all the time.
But because you go last, yeah.
Yeah, I like the really big giant guy, the way he took him down. I used to have that fear of getting into a fight with a big bully fat guy and punching him in the stomach and not being able to get out. And then I saw that when I was a kid, when I first watched Fist of the North Star, and I was stoked that there's some other creative out there that had put my fear into creative medium. So I was stoked about that. But if I had to pick something else, it would be what John said. The guy that can harden his skin was probably one of the most entertaining things in the whole thing. So, but the fight with his brother and the backstory of his brother is also compelling. So I guess I'll have to go with that just to be unique and different from you guys. What was his name? Jackie?
The middle brother is Jackie.
Yeah.
And the oldest brother is Rao.
Yeah, Jackie had a fascinating story because they went back and showed their fight and showed that he had already whooped them before, and he took, I don't know, there's a crazy power Ryu has, like the whole movie, that he has this crazy thing that they can do with the spiritual stuff they believe in, and once they hit you, then you exploding for whatever reason. And I don't.
They showed it in the beginning how they went inside and showed how they manipulate your brain waves. They send a signal to your brain to tell your organs to explode.
It's wild stuff, man. You don't want to mess with those guys.
Now, I know it's not a fight, but can we just talk for just a brief moment about the rousing song? Like at the end, like my fist was kind of going. Like I can't remember the lyrics to the song, but it definitely has a rousing, like we got to get this done kind of a.
Yeah. The only thing that stands out is like fighting with your. Is this where it says fighting with your double entity, or am I thinking of another movie? There's not. It does tell you. It does tell you to get something going. It does tell you. We should have looked up the lyrics, but it's mostly.
It had an Eye of the Tiger vibe.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, especially during that time, that was the style of music. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
you mean like the far off future?
Got me roused.
Yeah, but Nick, you gotta appreciate like ultra violent like graphics, like at the beginning where the nukes are going off, people just like melting faces everywhere. Like,
no, all the heads exploding. It was great. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was so different from the other movie last week. I kind of like that you did contrast. And was Street Fighter the game kind of influenced by this movie?
They said Mortal Kombat was. The word on the street is the reason Mortal Kombat did fatalities was because of this movie.
See something in there where I'm like, this reminds me of like those video games in the late or early 90s,
Sure.
I just want to say, everybody that dies in the beginning, that's all us, guys. That's us. So don't get too excited about all those wonderful graphics in the beginning.
Oh man. And speaking of death, let's talk about the fans. Okay.
Oh shit.
So if fans want to review some movies with us, they need to tell us what they are. They can email us some movie requests We take fan requests during our fan service segment now, where you can comment on one of our podcasts and we'll reward you with movies like, I don't know, we've given away a lot of shit. We'll give you King Kong 70, whatever that's coming out on.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? We'll give you the Wolf of Snow Hollow or
Best
the Brotherhood
movie.
of the Wolf as a pre-sale. I'll throw you a pre-sale your way. Or Adam's talking about Shudder. I'll pay for your Shudder for the year. Give us a nice review somewhere and share the screenshot. And just say something nice and tell us about it. We'll hook you up. That's it for fan service this week. There's not a lot of comments going on. Although somebody did say tremendous in response to the what was our last episode about? What did we do last week?
What did we?
Last week we did Princess Mononoke.
Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, we did a Mononoke Demon Worm deal, and somebody said tremendous to that one. That's cool.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Now, if you need something to watch this week and you're not going to do anime because you're not a fan like David, then you need something else to watch. So we'll give you some recommendations. Hey Nick, what can you recommend to our fans and our listeners if they need something to watch?
Well, I'm gonna double down on what Dave said last week. I think Nobody. I got to go to the theater for the first.
So good.
You should probably paraphrase that. That's actually the title of the movie.
Oh, was I calling David Nobody? Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
No, the movie's called Nobody, but it was my first time going to the movies since Bad Boys for Life. Like it's been like 13 months, so it was so cool to see a movie in the theater. But let alone this was John Wick, but funny. And actually, I think I enjoyed this better than the John Wick movies, to be honest with you. I loved it.
I can't wait to watch it again. It is one of those movies, as soon as you're done, you're like, okay, I can't wait so I can watch that again.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it. So I would, if you have a theater by you, go support your local theater and see Nobody. Not that Dave's a nobody.
Right.
Nobody.
In fact, I think it's like going to be available on demand this Friday or the 16th.
Already?
So.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Actually,
Okay.
I think it'll already be out by the time people are listening to this. So
Yeah,
We can still
Nobody.
go see it in the movie theater.
if you can see it in a movie theater, do that. And
Go
if you
see it. It's
cannot,
worth it.
Rent it.
Bring a gang of friends.
Dave, is that also your recommendation?
No, because I recommended that last week.
He recommended it last week, so that's why I was doubling down.
I don't.
So somebody has to take up the mantle next week.
Yeah. Adam
I
John.
don't always pay attention to
probably
your
not.
guys' recommendations. I'm just being honest.
I just always like to say
Oh,
Greenland. I like to say
snap.
Greenland all the time to like trip you guys out.
So, Dave, what is your recommendation?
I actually pulled something out of the catacombs I hadn't watched in a long time, and I laughed my ass off. But The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra, it's like a spoof of like 1950s like drive-in movies, or like basically what Mystery Science Theater did for like the first 10 years of like old rubber monster movies or like gimmicks. Like people, like scientists are like, we got to do this for science, for the advancement of science. Like they turn like 4 squirrels into a woman named Animala, and she's like horny for everybody. There's aliens. It's just like a fun, campy, like 1950s throwback. Like it's like not so much making fun of it, but actually like almost like paying homage to like how stupid but fun these movies were. So yeah, check out The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra.
What year was that? Because I remember I used to see a trailer for the theaters for that.
It was like 2004 or like early 2000s.
Okay. Oh, so it was like
But it was meant to look like a 1950s movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Very fun.
Didn't
And-
Tom Cruise do that with the Mummy remake?
Probably.
Isn't that what that was?
Probably. Oh yeah. Oh, that one. That movie.
Is that what you watched, Adam? Did you watch?
No, I watched a really cool movie called Blood and Flesh: The Real Life and Ghastly Death of Al Adamson.
That is a badass movie, actually. Sorry.
Isn't it amazing?
Like it's you can't tell people like really what happens, but like you go on.
Al Adamson. This doesn't spoil anything. He's in the very beginning of the film. You find out he died and somebody killed him, and then they tell you how great he was. And all the stuff he made, and it's a lot of fun. Like I was like, there's stuff I was laughing out loud at during the movie. Like one of the cinematographers was like at a video store, and he's like, "Oh, this is some crap. Who made this garbage?" And he turns it over, and he sees his own name on it. Oh, I made this garbage. Because Al Adamson used to rebrand movies and put new footage in them give them a new title. And just recycle mill all of the old movies and give them new titles that were like, and the titles were marketing. It was just like, what keywords are going to get those horror fans out?
Mm-hmm.
It had there's so much to learn from him. There's so many cool stories, the careers that he helped make, a little bit about how Hollywood changed over time, and of course a murder mystery. And let me just put it this way: every movie that I'm watching right now that I only watch half of, I just couldn't stop watching this film. I saw it today, and it's only all I can think about.
Wow,
so,
that's always a sign of a good movie. I love that.
That's a big sell.
Yeah,
it is a good. I can vouch for it. That is a good documentary.
Well, here's the thing: if you go to bwpodcast.com and find our Shudder code, you get a month free and watch this movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that code still works too. Actually,
yeah. It should work. I mean, and if it doesn't, then you can sue.
And Shudder's dumb because we have a ton of traffic, and they should fucking plug the code all year.
Yeah.
Throwing down.
I guess it's my turn. So Drew Barrymore made a show with Drew Barrymore and Drew Barrymore. It's called The Stand-In. She plays this famous actress named Candy Black, and they just dropped this movie on Netflix on Friday. And it's a little bit like What Happened to Baby Jane, honestly. It takes a dark turn. And if it didn't take the dark turn, the movie would be fucking forget about it. It'd be forgettable, another Netflix entry in the algorithm. But because it takes a slightly dark turn, it's at least worth a Saturday afternoon movie watch or something.
I was kind of on the fence about that one.
Yeah. And I watched Thunder Force, which is a superhero movie drop on Netflix with Melissa McCarthy. And forgive me, I forget the other lady's name who was in this NASA movie called Hidden Figures.
Oh, yeah.
Octavia Spencer.
Yeah, she's in a horror movie called Ma, too. Yeah.
I watched that, yeah.
What's her name? Is it
Octavia Spencer?
Yeah, Octavia Spencer. There we go. She's cool, too. They're in this movie where they design superpowers because the world is filled with supervillains. But the only reason the movie is even laughable is because Jason Bateman shows up as a guy who has crab hand claws, and he's one of the bad guys, and he crab walks everywhere like this. So because he leaves and they make a lot of inside jokes where Melissa McCarthy is attracted to him because it reminds her of her favorite food or whatever, and at one point she is literally buttering him. So
Wow.
But the movie sucks. But at least his jokes land, and nobody else's jokes really land. But he's a reason to check it out because it's kind of a gimmick. That's it. And Nick is gonna get us to our next segment.
So John, what are the staff picks this week?
What are the coming attractions?
Or coming attractions?
Jumping ahead there.
Is it coming attraction or what?
Oh shit!
Oh, coming attractions. Yeah. What are the coming?
Cue the bucket.
The staff picks.
I feel like I'm working at a Blockbuster video.
Yeah, I know, right?
Staff picks.
Yeah. So that's the general idea. These are our recommends.
Yeah.
If there was a wall, we would stick the movies on them, but we don't have a wall. Everything's digital now. So, okay. So these are the choices: Kite, the Highlander anime, Ponty Pool, or Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. Because we're going to do a whole month of staff picked movies where each one of us gets a turn at picking a movie that we're going to review. But we kind of have an extra week that I didn't plan for that somehow got away from me on the calendar in between staff picks beginning and the anime run ending. So these are the choices for next week. You got to vote on Kite, Highlander anime, Ponty Pool, or Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, which is the sequel to Vampire Hunter D, which, if we watched Vampire Hunter D, it would be a nice bookend because last year we ended the anime run with the original Vampire Hunter D. Keep that in mind.
I see.
All right, let's go down the list. Let's start with Nick.
I'm going to say Ponty Pool since we had a good conversation about it tonight, and Adam hasn't watched it, so yeah.
Dave.
I'm gonna say Ponty Pool because it's a genuinely good movie, and why not?
I haven't seen it in years either.
I see what Dave is doing. He's trying to break the anime. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, he is. He is. You gave him a non-anime
on this or
option.
that. That's not my fault.
You did the picks, yeah.
You had to make an exemption for Dave being able to pick that one. That is because I want to watch anime right now. So if I knew which one John was going to pick, then I would pick that. As long as it wasn't Pontypool. Not that I don't want to watch that. I'm just in the mood for anime, and I like the idea of dragging Dave kicking and screaming to watch some. So I'm going to say Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust, or whatever it is. Bloodlines. What is it?
Wow. I was going to agree with you, but you didn't get the title correct, so now I can't.
No. Vampire Hunter D. Boom. The sequel. Boom. Got it.
Boom.
Nailed it.
VHD.
What happens? Did we establish what a tiebreaker is?
I don't think we ever have. Have we ever had a tiebreaker? So do we have a tiebreaker? Do we have to do like
take it to the internet?
Well, I think it's kind of sweet that we could enter anime run with the other Vampire Hunter D.
I know, and then I broke John's heart when I was like,
Dave, Dave, is it time to use your producer chip now?
What?
No, I wouldn't waste it on this one. I guess I like Ponty. I don't know.
We're gonna surprise the audience. We're not gonna tell you. We're gonna take the discussion offline. We're not gonna let anybody know.
Surprise him.
We'll surprise you.
You have to watch both.
I was just gonna say, so you have to watch all 4 depending on what we choose.
Watch all 4? Holy shit! True binge watching, I guess. Nick, I feel like the night's gone on a little too long.
Yeah, it's starting to get late. So we talked about North of the Fifth Star. What is it again?
North of the Fifth Star. Yes. Yes.
I want to see that version. We talked about Pontypool. I'm trying to get everyone to watch it. We talked about news. Stuff got real. We talked about staff picks.
You know what? We're really good for about 25 minutes, and then the shit just falls apart after that.
Staff picks. We got into it. And stuff got real. So check us out on Instagram. bwpodcast.com. Check us out on Apple, all the sites. We're everywhere, guys. But stuff got real. We had a good time. I didn't puke, which I'm really happy about. I thought I was going to throw up live on the show, but yeah, we did good. So anyways, this Nicky T saying let's.
I was waiting for the extra comments that they usually throw your way, but I guess not tonight.
Oh, well, I mean, I thought that was such a big
up the title on purpose. I wanted to see if you guys were paying attention.